Hello everyone and welcome to the final session of today, which is the Farmer Panel. I'm Sean Chubb and I'm going to be chairing this session. For those who don't know me, I'm the Pasture Consultant for LIC in the Midlands and Wales. I am originally from New Zealand, but I've been over here for 6 years, predominantly working with pasture-based dairy farmers. Today's session with the Farmer Panel is about bringing what we've learnt today with the practical benefits of clover and legumes and putting into a farmer-based scenario. So we've got 4 people up on the panel here who have quite extensive experience with legumes and clovers in their commercial farming businesses. So it's now an opportunity for everyone to use their knowledge to implement changes on your own farm. This session is set for about an hour length of time, and it's an interactive session between you, the audience, and the panel members. So if you've got any questions that you want to put forward to the panel members, please raise your hand. I'll remind you that to wait for the microphone to be brought to you before you ask your question so that everyone can hear the question and have context of the answer. As previously, there we go. If you do not want to ask your question out loud, you can text the message through to this number and it'll be read out on your behalf. Whilst we wait for the mics to get started, I'll introduce the panel members before I get forward onto that. So on the left here, we have Andrew Mycock, or otherwise known to most people as Rusty. Next to him is Will Blackburn, Dave Williams, and from earlier today, Andre, which I won't need to introduce any further. So as I said, whilst we wait for the microphones to get ready, I'll ask the first question. So if you want to start raising your hands, we can have the microphone ready to you. So in my own role here in the UK, I quite often get a lot of comments around establishment, management, and weed control as being challenges for clover. So what have you guys found has been the biggest challenges you've found with clovers and legumes on your farm, and how have you gone about managing them? Will, do you want to kick things off?
I find the most difficult aspect of clovers is managing the weed control. Establishment is one of kind ground. Establishment's fairly easy. We use a lot of direct drilling when we can, and we tend to round up twice, about 4 weeks apart, and to give us a break from fruit fly and things like that. But it's so we get a good establishment. We use a John Deere direct drill, so we can get the clover in at 12 mil deep. We go a little bit deeper if it was grass only, but we can set it at 12, and we get good value for money out of the seed. Get a lot of percentage establishment.
Dave?
Yeah, very similar really. It's just the weed control, but I'm very lucky. We've got a quad bike with a spot sprayer on the back, and my dad just loves spot spraying docks. So he goes out for days on end spraying docks. So that's how we do it really. If fields are really bad, we will spray them with a self-propelled, but we expect to lose most of the clover then, to be fair. But yeah, in general, my dad does a cracking job. So looking forward to, he's coming up for retirement, so looking forward to these sprays that don't kill the clover off, basically. That'll suit me then, really. So, as far as establishment, we traditionally plough, power harrow, and a contractor comes and either iron box it in. He's actually got a paddle thing now. It paddles, you level it out, and it sprays out, and a gutler roller on it, and then we roll it afterwards. The white clover looks after itself, really. As long as you don't spray it, it'll grow pretty much. So, odd fields you get patches of it where it doesn't grow and so where it does, but 6 months later it'll all come even again. It sort of sorts itself out really for us somehow. So yeah.
Andre?
I've spoken about establishment, I suppose. I've got my farmer hat on this afternoon, I suppose, most of the time when it suits. One thing I will say about weed control, like when it comes to docks, we found that when you go into a herbal A type system and you've got chicory, if they'll eat that, they'll eat the docks, especially when you cut out chemical nitrogen. Docks, not a problem. Back in the 80s and 90s, docks, I'd never seen docks in New Zealand really, because I don't know whether you were farming back in those days before your time, but we pretty much ran a controlled starvation system. and didn't use a lot of nitrogen. We never had docks, you know, like if there was docks in the paddock, then you hadn't grazed hard enough. But nowadays it certainly is that if you've got enough clover and you don't put chemical nitrogen on, and you've got chicory as well, when the cows are used to eating the chicory, they'll eat the docks. So, you know, thistles and ragwort become a problem, but, you know, yeah, usually it's a spot spraying scenario that way, but, yeah. And I talked about establishment earlier. We mostly cultivated to get everything established to deal with compaction first, so.
I know, and Rusty, you've got a slightly different setup.
Yeah, so we still have two areas really, the silage lays, which are in rotation with a whole crop wheat. So we'll do a couple of years whole crop wheat, and then we'll min-till and combi drill grass in. We can grow chickweed really well. So, and the silage lays, we sort of gave over putting clover in, and just go a straight ryegrass. You know, and that works fine. Dose of CMPP in end of October and cleans it up and lambs, and that's fine. On the grazing platform, so those who heard Ben Rogers talk in here just before this one will have heard what we did, but basically we let the grass get to 3,200 cover, round up it, so by leaving it to grow, we're actually getting all the weeds are in flower, and we can, you know, especially the docks. We're not too bad for docks really on the platform, but we get a good kill, graze, you know, leave it to wheat, graze it off. But we've got our own moor uni drill, go in and direct drill the reseed, and that the last few years we are now gone on to herbal lays, and that seems to be working well for establishment. We'd expect the lays to last a minimum of 10 years. The herbal lays is a question mark over that, because I think that the chicory we've got in them seems to disappear quite fast. Which the cows, we've only got a small amount at the moment, but the cows telling me they don't like eating the chicory very much at the moment. So we're on a steep learning curve with that. But yeah, but we can establish, like the others said, it's the weed control.
Yeah. I did forget to let you guys all have a bit of a chance to introduce yourselves properly. So yeah, Rusty, do you just want to kick on and just give a bit of an overview of what you're doing?
So we're farming about 540 acres, of which 440 is owned. 320 autumn block calving cows, doing about 7,500 litres off a tonne and a half of purchased feed. Rotationally grazed, fed grass, silage and whole crop as part of a TMR in winter with topping up in the parlour.
So we have 750 acres in North Cheshire, predominantly an arable area, and we calve a quarter of our herd in March and 3/4 of the herd in July, August, September. We do that to balance the contract, and because we're not good enough at our fertility work to do it an autumn block, but it suits us. We keep production coming and we concentrate on feeding the grass. We have cows out in February and we hope to keep them out into the end of November. On this land we've got 100 acres of lucerne, which is, I've grown lucerne for 5 years. We're much newer into the red clover lays. We've got 100 acres of red clover lays, and we're finding our nitrogen use has dropped significantly, so now it's below 50 kilos per hectare of nitrogen across the whole of the farm, which is a bit of a light bulb moment for us. I didn't realise we could do it.
Yep, we're farming just down the road in Middlewich with 450 cows on 540 acres, just over half of which is rented, the rest is owned. All year round calving, heifers are sent off to another farm for rearing, contract reared out. We've been growing clover since forever really. I think my granddad was too stingy back in the day to buy fertiliser. He saw it coming and I'm not paying that, so we just kept growing his old clover lays and we've just carried on ever since really. So we're all white clover. We have experimented probably 15 years ago now, a good while ago, with red clover. We put 8 acres in. And for us, it didn't just fit. It kind of grew too fast and too well, overshadowed the grass in the lay as well. And then by the time the rest of the grass was ready to cut, the clover had died off pretty much, and you get a black line in the clamp light. So we kept that for 2 years and then ploughed it up and put white clover back in. Just because it didn't fit our rotation. Probably doing it wrong really, but I don't know. So yeah, so all white clover, except for one field with a 13-acre at home. Basically, that hasn't got clover in it because the rep forgot to put it in. And that's the hungriest field we've got. It's constantly yellow, constantly wanting fertiliser. We're not quite as good as Will on fertiliser use. We're using a maximum of 50 kilo per acre on our ground, like so, which is still pretty good, like so. Fertiliser's not a big item for us as such, so. But there's a lot of slurry going on all that, like so. We spend a lot putting slurry out, either dribble barring it or just splash plating. So yeah, we run a multi-cut system. We aim for 5 cuts, but usually end up with 4 because it's so weather dependent like that. That just cocks it up really, the weather. So yeah, that's about it really.
Yep. And you gave me sort of a don't come to me, Andre. So I'm guessing everyone already knows who you are familiar on this morning. Yeah. No, oh, very good. So we'll now just open up to the floor. So if there's any questions, please raise your hand and we'll get a mic to you.
Okay, I've got one that's come through. Okay, yes. So if anybody who's grazing broadleaves, and I think perhaps Rusty, this might come to you or anybody. Do you need to get a consistent lay in order to avoid cows having palatability issues if they know they've got a sugar-rich grassland to go to? Is that something you've found?
Don't know. I mean, for us at the moment, we've 2 paddocks which are 1.5 hectares each. That's out of a total platform of 79 hectares. So it's basically 2 night feeds, and so they've not had much experience of herbal lays. But when they have gone in, they're struggling to take. They haven't taken it out cleanly like would the normal ryegrass and clover paddocks. So whether we're putting them on reasonably tight as well. I mean, we never get 1,500 residuals. We're more like 1,600 or 1,700 residuals with my cows. But even so, they don't look like the residual I'd like to look at. Now, whether that's the cows or me or what, I'm not sure. As we get more into it, I mean, we're looking at establishing nearly 200 acres of herbal lays this year because of the SFI payments. It's a bit of a no-brainer, really. It's, for the way, certainly on my grazing platform, it's no harder, really, for me to establish a herbal lay than it is to do a clover lay. But the only difference is instead of £102 a hectare, I can claim 382. So, I mean, it's just, I say, it's a complete no-brainer. I think we've got one of these windows of opportunity at the moment. I don't think it'll stay this favourable. Don't expect it to carry on being this favourable, but I mean, at the moment, the criteria you have to tick are pretty low. As long as you can prove you've tried, you get the payment. So, why not have a go at it is my attitude at the moment. But when we get more in, and we'll see then whether the cows, like it. I think the mixes we've done, I think we've probably got too much chicory in. The ones we're looking to put in this year, I'll have a lot less chicory. What I've found, I did another paddock, another 3 paddocks we did this summer. We found with I don't think it's a direct drilling thing or what, but the chicory and plantain seem to take really well and the grass doesn't. So it's left the swards quite open in the bottom, which, has issues for poaching up if it hasn't got that solid bottom in there. So, I mean, that's just anecdotal on my part. I mean, the first year was a very dry year. Last year wasn't dry at all. It was pretty wet. So we've had different conditions, but the same result. So, that's work in progress to find out why that's happening. And, we're using some different mixes this year. We're also using some overseeding mixes as well to try and put it into established lays. Doing quite a bit of trial work with Ben Rogers. We're going to play around with quite a few different options. See what works and what doesn't work. So I say we're early days for us, but we're trying lots of different things to see what seems to work best for us, but we don't know the answer yet, that's for certain, on the limited bit that I've done so far.
Do you have anything to add to that, Andre?
Yeah, I find it an interesting question. I work with quite a lot of clients on this, and the trouble in most systems is that most people that want to go into herbal lay are sort of dipping their toe in the water. So, you know, it's hard to commit fully into it, so you try a paddock. And that's a really tough thing because, you know, you're going around on your traditional sort of pastures and then you hit this herbal lay and look, the cows don't like to graze it. So in New Zealand, when we bought that farm, we just committed to it. And we were lucky in one respect because the previous owners had cultivated the week before we took the farm over. Going into winter, they'd cultivated 60% of the farm and just put an annual in. And so that was great. We had all this annual grass over the winter, which grew like stink. But in the summer in New Zealand, that just dies off and we get bad Argentine stem weevil. And the Argentine stem weevil was just decimating the annuals. So we drilled in that 60% got herbal lays, which gave us a massive percentage. So we could regularly keep the cows in, you know, every day they were getting this herbal lay. So it was really good because the cows soon got used to having a herbal lay. And we actually got the other side where we were milking 3 times in 2 days. And we had to make sure that we had to give 2 long breaks on the herbal lay and a short break on grass only, because if we put 2 breaks on the grass only, the cows crashed. And they just loved the herbal lays. They produced so much better on the herbal lays that, yeah, we got to the point where we just, you know, like in year 2 we had 80%. So I think cows can quite quickly get used to it. But you have to understand there's a massive cost to overgrazing, and somebody before alluded to it a little bit, that just in the grazing seminar where people split, these animals had left bad residuals on the paddock and they were overgrazing the pastures. The cost of overgrazing is usually not taken into account. Like, you know, if you try and push cows, whatever, sheep to graze your herbal lays and get rid of the chicory, the first thing you're going to do is really, really hit your grasses and clovers hard, and you might be grazing them down to 2.5, 3 centimetres. So that's a massive cost. So then all of a sudden you're going, well, my herbal lays, the herbs are growing really well, but the others aren't. Yeah, but that's because you've overgrazed the ones that the animals really want to graze, you know. So it is a really, really tough thing to do. And if you're going to go down that track, you have to commit to it, try and get a big percentage in, and really cut back on the fertiliser. So the other thing also is that I've found that switching to a foliar fert, and I did foliar fertiliser trials in 2020, comparing granular to foliar. And the one thing we really noticed is that when we put cows in a paddock where we had foliar, control and granular, and we randomised it so every paddock was staggered the other way, cows would just go onto the foliar and control and graze that down before there'd be 2 or 3 cows out of 150 cows or whatever. There'd be 2 or 3 cows on the granular and the rest were all grazing the foliar. And we found that just the impact of chemical nitrogen had a massive impact on the willingness to graze as well. So there's a few things if you're thinking of going down that track to make it, better.
Oh, yeah. David?
Thank you. Well, for Andre, this one, we're talking about the palatability of the herbal lays. We've all talked about dairy cows. What about young stock? And if we start them off on the herbal lays, does that make it more palatable for them when they're older?
Yeah, usually I get people to start on young stock ground with herbal lays because, I mean, anthelmintic properties as well saves having to go with your drenches and those sort of things as well. And yeah, you know, very young calves are very difficult, immature rumen and picky, that they're harder to get going. But I find that like yearling cattle are just fantastic on herbal lays, you know, like they'll get into it and they tend to graze it probably more evenly what a herd of cows does. And also chicory is wonderful in year 1, is rubbish in year 2. You know, so when you say we can't keep our chicory, happy days. It's a fantastic plant, and in year 1 it's really good. So wherever I go and they're growing chicory, I'll taste some of it, And some farms you go to and it's bitter as hell. In other farms it's not. So there's different farms have different response to the palatability of the herbs as well. Year 2, it's like it gets a defence system because, I mean, there's only one reason for a plant to live and that's to reproduce and die, you know, so the chicory plant in year 2 goes, I want to reproduce. So it just goes woody. The leaves become really bitter for its defence system to protect itself. You think, oh, well, I'll tear the mower through it and next time it'll be great. You tear the mower through it, 20 days later you've got a tree again, you know, like it's really tough. So, yeah, I think chicory's got some issues there. Plantain's wonderful. Man, there's just every place suits plantain, but chicory has some issues palatability-wise like that I see more issues relating to overgrazing because people try and push to eat the chicory than what I see the benefits of chicory, really.
Rusty, have you tried your young stock on the herbal A's at all?
We had some of the R1s on, the first one we actually did was after some whole crop wheat, and we had we ended up block grazing in quite tight, small bits just to get them to eat the wheat because it was bolting away from them. It did actually do quite a good job, and because at one time I thought the weeds were going to take over and we might have to spray it, but you know, by block grazing in really tight bits, it did sort it out. Forgot to mention one other thing I do is we pre-mow the whole rotation from at the end of May. We found that's really good at controlling weeds, especially thistles. And you know, I think one of the it was spoken out earlier on. You know, we're big fans of pre-mowing rather than post-mowing, and definitely not topping. Go in and you know, there's no selection. They clear everything up, and it's a bit of a reset. So we find, yeah, start at the end of May and you know, do the next 3 weeks, go around the whole block.
Yep.
Hi, I'd just like to ask the panel, how have you got on growing, I guess, red clover more specifically than herbal A's on heavier ground, and what's your observations with soil type and wetter versus drier ground?
David, do you want to kick off with that one?
Yeah, I mean, we're all very heavy ground, like, and we only grow the white clover and it grows fine, to be honest. It's, yeah, no issues at all. Yeah, so I can't really comment on lighter, sandier ground because I haven't got any, so. Yeah, I mean, you grow red clover as well, don't you? For lighter ground, so.
I grow the red clover silage on the heavier ground, and we selected the lucerne to grow on the lighter ground on this other farm. We had some heavier ground which we felt was too strong for lucerne, so it was the optimum place to put the red clover. And to be fair, it's although the topsoil is quite a nice texture, it's very slow draining, so it does hold a lot of water. But the red clover's just kept going there. We have grazed it to a degree, very very carefully, very light, just to take the top off it, and it's coped with that as well. It never stopped. The thing with the red clover is when it gets hot and the grass is going brown, the red clover is firing away. And it's a similar thing with the lucerne. When things go dry, you can count on your legumes to produce the goods, we find.
Rusty or Andre, do you have anything to add there?
We're not heavy ground. We have a lot of rain, 1,500 mil plus, more than that last year. We did try some red clover silage about 15 years ago. It didn't establish very well. I think by the time, it sort of got going about year 4 when it was time to come out again. We did, through a bit of a cock up of mine, with spraying a new seed that we ended up nearly killing it. Ended up overseeding one with some red clover in, and that's actually gone really well. That's in its 3rd or 4th year now. That's usually one cut of silage and then grazing with R2s, and yeah, I mean the clover in that looks really good at the moment. Clover doesn't normally get going with us because we're a bit, starting at 1,000 foot. Things don't happen very fast in the spring, but that one's looking really, really good. Interestingly, when we put the cattle in to graze it, we go for the ryegrass before the clover, though. I was a bit, seeing all this big clover leaves, I was a bit worried about them getting blow to something, but they actually don't. They go for the grass before the clover.
Andrew, anything?
Yeah,
to
I
add?
think in a way, red clover almost does better on heavy ground than true dry ground. And, you know, I made a bit of fun of everybody last week that you don't know what a drought is. You know, you can call it a dry spell, but I found that on my real dry areas of the farm in New Zealand, our red clover didn't actually like that either. So I'm finding that heavy ground works well, but it needs to be able to breathe, and red clover doesn't like wet feet, you know, so it does need to be reasonably well drained. But I mean, if you've got heavy ground, red clover does actually like that. But ideally, if you can have a soil that breathes, then at least the red clover will just thrive, really. Mm.
So, quick question then about the last 3 years. This spring's been a bit of a nightmare when we think about the amount of water that's fallen out of the sky. But the last 3 years, we've had very late springs. It's been very cold. Soil temperatures haven't warmed up, and people have been looking for that dry matter early. How do you manage getting the dry matter early before the clovers wake up?
I say, well, where we are, I probably turn my cows out probably a month before anybody else roundabout does, so just because we set up with the tracks and everything. But I work on having a target of 15 days grazing by the end of March, so I'm what I call an opportunistic grazer on the days it's dry enough, which there haven't been many of this time, so we do have enough forage stocks to go, you know, to get round that, but we just try and get them out in the day for a few hours, and we just treat every day as a bonus, and, you know, we take it if it's there, and if we can't, then we're sort of geared up to cope with that.
I find that it's very important to close on the right covers to have the dry matter there to turn out in the spring. If you shave them down too low, then it's going to take a long time to wake up and get going. Not done it this year. We seem to have good growth anyway because everything's so warm. The clover's still firing on all cylinders. Other years we'll just put some 20 kilos of nitrogen in the form of urea on, just to kick things off. Just very gentle amount. Just to, I mean, that's still after the first rotation. There's enough residual nitrogen to get things going before that.
Dave?
Yeah, we're always a late turnout anyway. So grazing ground, we never actually put any fertiliser on until after the first rotation. Because if we do, it'll just outgrow them, so we end up salvaging it anyway. So we can't turn out. So this year, though, we've actually managed to pump the grazing ground, and that's gone mad. None of the silage ground has had anything yet. So we're probably going to have to silage all the grazing ground anyway and just keep them in, I think, till the middle of May. Yeah, no, usually we get tremendous grass over it. As soon as it warms up, it goes mad, our grass somehow. So it's just the type of ground, and again, we plenty of slurry, that bit of fertiliser, it well, so without fail, really. So
it's interesting when you look at it, you know, dealing with so many clients that have got variable clover percentages in their swords. When you look at the amount of growth they have between the 1st of January and, say, the 1st of April, it's very difficult to manipulate that. It's very difficult to manipulate it with chemical nitrogen. It's very difficult to manipulate it with the percentage of clover that's in your sward. Your greatest opportunity is your recovery after that first grazing, you know. So, I mean, this year's just been diabolical because, you know, you just can't graze. Utilisation is poor. You're doing soil damage, and you know, that's going to have a huge impact. So when you talk about what happens in the front end, it's always thinking about how can I manipulate it that my balance date comes a few days earlier, you know, that my pasture growth meets my pasture demand earlier. And I don't find that there's a big difference between people with a high percentage of clover or those with basically no clover, is that balance date isn't manipulated very much. What I do find is that once they hit balance date, perhaps the people with a high percentage of clover don't quite peak as high, which like I alluded to earlier on, I think is more of a positive in that, you know, you can knock the very top of that growth off a bit in April, May when you're growing way above your pasture demand anyway. So it's interesting when you look at all the stats, there's very little difference in when people hit balance date and pasture growth rates really through that period where it really matters, really. Yeah.
If glyphosate was banned, how differently would you farm?
To stuff up my method for re-drilling, that's for certain, for reseeding on permanent, on the grazing platform. I think if we didn't have glyphosate, I think we'd have to try and hammer it really hard with, maybe a bunch of young stuff, in calf heifers or dry cows, something like that, to just knock it that hard so that what we drilled had got a chance to establish.
I've never had much success without glyphosate. Can graze it down hard. The old grass still comes back and out-competes it. I think I'd have to invest in a set of sweep ties just to knock out the old pasture, the old weeds, and then go again until it was dead, and then drilling as per normal. But I don't see, got to control the weeds.
Very much the same, really. I don't think. I mean, we traditionally plough. We do disc as well, and try and min-till it in a bit. We'll take a field out of grass and put it into wheat for 2 years and barley, and then back into grass. And as long as that barley stuble's clean, we'll just disc it. If not, we plough like so. With no glyphosate, though, we'd just plough a lot more, I suppose, really. So spot spraying would be out of the question, I suppose, wouldn't it? Like, with no glyphosate, there'll be some weird potion of seawater or something that you'll put on them and it'll kill them, I don't know. So there's always a way of figuring stuff out. I find, anyway. So.
I was with an organic client last week. I mean, it's just about the biggest dilemma for an organic system, like anybody that's going organic, the greatest thing they worry about in the conversion to organic is how we're going to farm without nitrogen. 3 years down the track, they never consider, the problem of nitrogen anymore. They've got way bigger problems. But glyphosate is a massive issue in organic systems, so just we're working with break crops, perhaps doing a single cultivate, putting a break crop through, and then, just seeing at the other end if there's a necessity to do it again. That's the issue, like organic farming isn't necessarily better for the environment. Like if you're having to deal with just disruption of soil all the time. I had an organic farmer say to me once, yeah, I'm organic, but, I feel bad about it because environmentally he feels it's worse than if he could just switch to some of these things. So farming without glyphosate makes things quite tricky in being able to deal with competition. And it's not just weeds, I think it's weed grasses as such as well. And we just end up farming like organic farmers do, and I'm afraid that would end up resorting to a lot more cultivation.
So this question's for Will and Rusty, and it's just around the performance of your pasture and your farm and your cows when you moved from, say, no clover, no mixed sward into your clovers in your mixed swards.
I suppose with grazing platform, we've been using clovers properly for about, so no, perhaps not. I was going to say we've been using them properly for 10 years. We've been establishing them for 9 or 10 years, but we're still using fairly high levels of nitrogen, probably up to 250 kilograms a hectare on the platform. Depending on the season, we think things are going well, then we'll try and ease off a lot the second half of the season. So I can't honestly say I've been really pushing the clover layers. It's there, it's helping intakes. Probably not been making the most out of them. I think going forward, we've tried to, my limiting factor is the size of my grazing platform, and we're a farm that's set up for just over 300 cows. If I start cutting back on the tons of dry matter produced on my platform, I've got to keep less cows, and that's going to I'm frightened of that having a big hit on my bottom line. I'm not convinced by saving, 10 tonne of urea is going to make up for milking 20, 30 cows less. At the end of the day, urea's until very recently, it's been a very cost-effective input for my farm. So, you know, I'm not going to get all holy about it, but, you know, paid the bills. And, you know, chucking your ear about has been very, very cost-effective for me. But, you know, going for, you know, looking forward, you know, it's obvious that the trend is we've got to be using less of these products for, you know, cost, environmental reasons. So, I mean, that's why I've got into the herbal lays, really, is I can see that's the direction of travel we need to be in. So whilst we've got Clover, I don't think I'm particularly making the best use of it at the moment, but I can see going forward we're going to have to make better use of it.
We started in a very similar position to Rusty, really. We've always grown clover in the grazing platform. It's only recently that we've really pushed to get the most from it, and there's been some quite surprising results from that. I mean, this is coupled with getting proper slurry storage and utilising a trailing shoe. So we've been able to go around, we've been able to feed the grazing platform with slurry, so that's reduced our nitrogen, chemical nitrogen requirements on the platform. But it's also had the effect that the P&K input has really boosted the clover, so the clover has gone absolutely wild, despite the fact that's obviously adding nitrogen as well. It must have been a more friendly form than chemical nitrogen. And as we've felt our way into the system and cut back the nitrogen use on the platform, we've found that organic matter levels in the soil have suddenly jumping up. I always thought that our sandy land was only capable of getting to 4% organic matter, but the latest tests have shown we've got up to 6%. And I feel that's a massive bonus for resilience within our system, because that extra 2% of organic matter is going to hold an enormous amount of water that we couldn't hold before. Previously, 2 weeks dry weather, and the grass was starting to go yellow and slow down, and then within 3 weeks it was brown. Now I'm hoping with the clover in there and with the extra organic matter, it just gives us that extra week, maybe 10 days, until the next decent spell of rain comes along. So we're not, not having to open the clamp and use the stuff that was made very expensively a couple of weeks, 3 or 4 weeks before. So it's really eye-opening what we can achieve when we can reduce the chemical nitrogen and push up those organic matter levels.
In terms of weed management, is that working? Yeah. In terms of weed management, it's been said today that if you use the correct stocking density, this will force the livestock to eat everything, including less preferred species like chicory and docks, to help clear the lay and reset it. However, isn't there a chance that they will graze down the legumes too far before choosing the less preferred species?
Andre, do you want to start with that one?
Well, I said that before, I suppose, and that is the risk. But yeah, that's overgrazing. The cost of overgrazing is the risk in that system. But when stock gets used to it consistently in their diet, they'll actually make a habit of even going to those not the dock plants perhaps, but the chicory plants first at times, and there'll be certain cows that go in and they'll just go for the clover, the other cows that just go in for chicory. So, we ran a system with it right throughout our rotation, and cows just produced phenomenal. They loved it. They grazed it evenly and they cleaned it out, and we never had a dock plant, but they won't eat thistles. You have to push them a bit too hard for those. So, there's a lot of weeds that the cows won't eat. And you don't want them to eat ragwort. You're never going to get them to eat thistles, but things like docks just end up. It's not like you have to push them to eat it. They actually end up choosing to eat them. Yeah.
Although I've not grown herbal lays, now we've reduced the nitrogen and we're using more of the legume nitrogen. The docks are not the same. They don't have the same strength in the plants. They're smaller plants and they're not multiplying as fast since we've de-intensified the chemical nitrogen use.
And even docks are non-mycorrhizal as well. So, when you create like Will said, when your organic matter builds up, it's live organic matter as well. You'll have a lot more going on in your soil microbiology. So as soon as you've got that competition from mycorrhizal activity and plants that thrive on that, your non-mycorrhizal species end up not competing very well in that. You know, so people that go to herbal lays tend to find that they don't actually have the same weed problems as what they did before as well. You know, so you get different competition at different levels, but you also get different plants sending out exudates that actually kind of compete with the weeds. And like we said earlier on, it's like anything gravitates towards the environment that suits it. And when you create an environment that doesn't suit those weeds, then you end up with less of them. And the ones that are there are just not, they're not dealt with the same with the stock that eats them.
One thing I'm aware of is after we've done whole crop wheat, we normally put a straight ryegrass in. Well, this year we're putting herbal lays in. We're actually going to direct drill them straight into the stubble. And what would normally happen is we have tack sheep on in the winter. And the big fear is, after what I've heard today, is those sheep hammering that grass down. Because the sheep guys aren't the best at moving them on when you ask them to. I mean, the guy he's very good at fencing them, and he's very good at paying as well. But even though he only pays per week, he still seems to leave them there probably a week or two longer than they should do. So that's something I've got to reconsider for this winter, is whether we have the tack sheep on because of what damage they may do to the new lay I've just drilled.
I was interested actually by something that Will said about you grow your 100 acres of red clover on your heavy ground. Well, I was interested this morning that you were saying about rotating the red clover. Have I got this wrong? But didn't they say you could only grow it for so long and then you'd have to grow something else after it? Is that right? And if it is, what would you do then, Will?
It was said, it was quite interesting because they said you could rotate it with lucerne because there's no disease crossover there. So I was like, depending on how long the red clover lasts, in my lucerne fields, I was thinking, well, I could grow one wheat, then 4 or 5 years red clover lay, and then back into lucerne. Where the red clover is, probably just go 1 year wheat, and then into like a white clover silage lay, and then back into red clover.
Thank you.
Oh, we've got another. Oh, lovely.
Maybe one for Will Blackburn. Your red clover, how much P and K are you feeding that with, and is that chemical or organic?
This red clover all went into an ex-dairy farm, so P and K levels of 4s and and also combined with a high pH and plenty of calcium in the soil. I think he bedded on sand. So we're just giving it some sulfur in the form of polysulfate, so it's getting a bit of magnesium, a bit of potash, and a bit of what's the other one? Calcium. So that's all we're feeding it every time after each cut. Last year we gave it 50 kilos of nitrogen for the first cut and then 30 kilos of nitrogen for the second cut. This was on a multi-cut, so we're cutting every 4 weeks, and then it got nothing. The red clover, you just shot away. You wouldn't know you hadn't given any fertiliser. The only hiccup we had was went very dry, and then it went very wet. So there was an 8-week gap between third and fourth cut. Very heavy crop of red clover was very difficult to, it was easy to mow, but it was very difficult to get it to dry out. We ended up tedding it 4 times, and the sun came out, and then we managed to grab it. But next time, definitely stick to nearer 4 weeks and just get it, because the big stems on this red clover took some drying out. We went to the field, did the headlands, then we said, right, we'll just go and chop them up and then come back to it when it's had a bit of weather on it. But that's the limit of the. We will go on with the trailing shoe if we can, but it's a bit limited when you can get onto these fields if they're a little bit heavy. You know, we certainly won't go near them at this time of year maybe after second cut we'll get round with some slurry.
Any other? Oh, yep.
So, have you ever had issues with bloat? And if not, sorry, if you have, what have been your methods of dealing with that? And did it knock you, essentially?
I've only had issues with R1 cattle at about 10, 11 month old on a white clover lay. It was mixed, there were dairy heifers and some Aberdeen Angus crossed dairies in as well, and the Anguses would seem to be worse than the dairies, so it seemed to be breed specific. And they blow up in the morning or late morning and then usually be okay again later on in the day. So you can go up and down. We didn't lose any, fortunately.
I've been very lucky, I've never seen bloat. We are careful to, if we've got high clover lay, we'll just break them in gently on a lower clover lay, get the gut microflora to get used to it, and then, yeah, we wouldn't drop them on it straight away.
We've never had bloat either, although we only graze, we keep them in the day, we graze low yielders, we keep them in the day, but turn them out at night. So I think if you were to turn cows on a strong field of clover, like in your picture, a full 24 hours of that and followed by another 24, yeah, you're going to get trouble then, but we are pretty wary of that. And if it is a real strong field of clover, yeah, we'll try and not send them out hungry, basically, so they'll just pick at it a bit and not, but no, we've never had any trouble. My wife's a vet, though, and she has been to several farms where she's had dozens of cows bloated, so she's had to fire red devils into them, and it was quite a fraught time and all that, when you do get it, but no, personally, no, we've never had it, really. So just how we manage it, really.
Do you want me to answer this?
Yeah.
Years of therapy. Look, when I was share milking in New Zealand, I lost 15 cows out of 300 cows one morning. In New Zealand, we don't feed meal, we never used to feed meal in the morning, and I actually drenched my cows every morning with bloat oil, and they went off to the paddock, and it was just, they hadn't had clover in the diet for a few days, and I sent them to what we class as a river accretion, sort of very stony land that was quite clover dominant, a lot of white clover on it, big patches of just solid clover. It was a bit dewy, cold, everything was just wrong. Went down to shut them in, and there was 15 cows dead. So first thing I did is run the cows up and down just to get them moving, and they start burping and farting and carry on, and lots of methane emissions. But yeah, it's tough, and so for years as a consultant, I actually was quite reluctant to advise a lot of clover because I just felt that to come back to me, if that happened to anybody, was tough, So now that I'm much more involved with soil and microbiology and looking at a lot of different things, I know that things are very different if you farm very differently. So if you can get your nutrient density up and just back off on your chemical nitrogen use and have a consistency in the diet, you can manage it. You can manage it by break feeding, by easing cows into clover. Know when the cows are at high risk, when you got those high risk days, and just hold cows back, let them all out together at the same time. There'll be certain paddocks that are really, that are a lot higher risk, and there'll be some paddocks that you can see clover dominant and the cows will never get bloat in there. So if you've got an imbalance between sodium and potassium especially, that seems to be a big difference. If you've got high potassium and low sodium, that causes a lot more gassing in cows. So there's a whole bunch of different things that impact it. But again, back in New Zealand, I lost 2 cows of bloat over the 2 years. It's quite a harrowing thing because it's not, knowing what the cow must have gone through to get to that point of being dead is, it's not easy. Even when you see, a bunch of cows blown up, it's just getting in there and just getting them moving, move them up and down the track. and get over it. But there is things you can do. There's ways you can manage around it. And it's just a matter of making sure that you understand where the risk periods are, which are the risk paddocks, and that you manage around it as much as you can. I did have a mate back in the day in New Zealand who went down to check the cows after milking, and there was 3 dead with bloat, so he went back to get the tractor so he can go and pick them up. I mean, by the time he came back with the tractor, I think there was 7 dead. Like, you know, look after the live ones is what the main philosophy is there. Always look after the live ones first. You do need a lot of benefit from clover to make up for the cost of a dead cow, you know, and it will impact production if you have, you know, a lot of bloat in your cows. So it's real, and it is a potential issue, but it can be managed. And if you commit to clover and you understand the risks, there's ways of managing around it, yeah.
We'll just close on this final question here, which is if you have one piece of advice for somebody who's looking to integrate clover into their sward, what would it be? So do you just want to kick things off, Rusty?
I wish you'd got to the other end first. I don't know. I think Roundup's your friend, certainly for me anyway, in establishment. And we touched on it earlier on one of the questions, but yeah, I'd be stuffed if I didn't have Roundup to establish it the way I do it.
I would say just, I think maintain, you know, if you've got a good soil structure, maintain it. Don't just use your Roundup, direct drill, and clover, and the clover has such deep roots that it's going to, and especially red clover, it's going to produce you loads of channels to improve the drainage, even way below where a subsoil tine can get. I mean, that's partly my reason for using this red clover, was that I knew I had soils that the drainage was was troublesome further down, and I can't use a tine to get that sorted out. And red clover's got great roots and can get really far down and open up your soils, so it'll improve things vastly in the long run.
My advice would be get a spot sprayer from the back of your quad to start with.
And a dad that likes using it.
And a dad that likes using it, that's it, you get one of them as well. Yeah, but do it. I like it, I wouldn't be about it all. The one field that hasn't got it is a pain in the arse, to be honest. I can't wait to, we're going to put an able lay in at this back end, see what that does, because you pay for it, so that's nice, so we'll try that. If that doesn't work, it'll get ploughed up again, and we'll start again with it, really, so. You will save fertiliser. It's really good for saving fert and little and often. It's good. Yeah, I'd never go back. So.
I know my last comment was a bit negative with the bloke, but like it's a win-win. It's a no-brainer for me. Right? Know why you're doing it. Know what the benefits from it are. You know, it's not just free nitrogen. The feed quality you get, especially mid-season on. What it does for you for infiltration and water holding capacity, for your just below soil activity. There's so much going on with clover that is beneficial that for me, and you get paid to do it, for God's sakes. You know, like these SFI payments are just unbelievable that you get paid to do this like low-hanging fruit win-win thing. So, but just really understand why you're doing it and commit to it and make sure that you get the true benefit from it. And, you know, like using 250 kilos of nitrogen still is for me a massive lost opportunity, you know, like getting away from the costs that just keep coming into our system. I think it just takes a risk out of your business if you can get away from that cost, you know, like when you analyse 2022 financial results, that was really output driven. And then you analyse 2023 financial results, and it really cost-driven because, you know, when you're in a lower milk price environment, the costs dominated what people did profit-wise. Whereas 2022, anybody can make money when you get paid like through the roof for your milk, you know, so people let that cost thing go. Clover allows you to take risk out of your business. It creates resilience in your pasture growth curve, and it allows you to take out some of that cost risk. So, you know, like if you really understand the benefits of clover, then just see it as a win-win, and yeah, hopefully you'll learn a few things today to implement it.
Yep, thank you. Yeah, well, my key take-homes from this session has been across the 4 panel members there, we've had some very different farming systems, all using clover in a different way and all different levels of nitrogen inputs, from Andre using very little and Will also using very little up to sort of Rusty at 250 kilos of nitrogen. But everyone's still using clover to try and get the benefit of it and maximise the performance of their cows. But there's still a lot of room to lower that level of nitrogen as well. So yeah, be it people in the audience or people on the panel there, is just what can you do to try and drive that lower? As Andre said, that there's a cost there. If you don't need to pay it, then that's a saving. A little saying that my friend likes to say is a dollar saves, a dollar earned. So I'd like to take this time to thank the panel members, so if everyone would like to show their appreciation in the appropriate way.
Brilliant. Thank you. Thank you, Sean, as well, for chairing that session, and thank you to our panelists. I'd just like to sum up, really, from today. I've learnt a huge amount. I think, we did one of these sessions. This is the second of 3. We did one of these in Bridgewater last week, and a lot of the things that are discussed are subtly different, actually. So I'm learning new things all the time. I think that when we look at government and the targets, there's a lot of interest in these marginal abatement curves, and I could show you a slide about it, but essentially it shows what Andre is talking about, win-wins. And when we're looking at what we can do for the environment, we have to start where there are win-wins, where there's a win for the environment and where there's a win for the farmer and the farming system. Clover is one of those plants that's at the center of that. When we talk about nitrogen runoff, we talk about air pollution, things like ammonia, and when we think about carbon footprints, clover is at the center of all of that. But the win-wins, it's quite interesting that there is a clear win for the environment. We've got a consistent direction for governments. We've got a consistent payment incentive scheme. Certainly in England, it's not consistent necessarily between the different devolved nations. But the direction is consistent. Yet everybody here has a different issue, totally inconsistent. We've got inconsistent weather. We've got inconsistent soils, inconsistent reliefs, different farming systems. Everybody's got their own challenges. And I think that the how is really important. And the fact that everybody in this room today has had a questioning mind, and they're here for a reason. They're here because they're trying to get ahead of things. Rusty made a really interesting point earlier on about we need to do this when the incentive's there, because it might not always be there. So if we're going to give it a go, we've got to really give it a proper go now and try and share experiences. Ben Rogers, he spoke about a farmer-led trial. It was led by Ben, but essentially he's got the farmers together. The farmers are trying things. All of you will be trying things, even without thinking. So it's really important we share those experiences. We come to events like this and others to share our knowledge and to keep doing what you're doing. There was a study by the AHDB commissioned with Anderson's that looked at the top traits of top performing farms, and mindset was one of them. And I think having this questioning mindset is a really positive thing for all of your businesses. So I'd like to thank all of the panelists today, all of the speakers. I'd like to thank all of you for your attention. I know it's been a grim day, and apologies for you getting wet on the walk up to here. I'd also like to remind you, we do have this bag of seed, and the owner of this seed will be in this room, or will have been in this room. All you need to do is fill out your feedback form, which will be on one of these cocktail tables. No cocktails, I'm afraid, just the forms. So if you could fill those out and hand them in with your name badge on your way out and have a safe trip home, that would be great. Thank you very much.